Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are discussing Love Island Games episode 12. This was a really good episode. There was a lot going on. Andriena, girl, you did your thing. You went out like a bang. I'm so proud of you. Marvin, you had one job. I'm sorry, but who's voting for Andrea? Who's voting for Josh and Isaiah? We got to talk about that. Lucinda should not be trusted. Tyreke is still a fool. Johnny still has no neck. Justine is getting her act together. Why do we have to have so many Brits? We can't recruit from any other countries? So anyways, let's go ahead and get started. So the episode opens up with Sydney. She's in tears. She's boohoo crying. She's regretting picking Tyreke over Marvin. Sydney keeps circling back to her reason is because she wants to focus on her alliance. And she's guilty that Marvin might end up going home because of her decision. At the end of the day, like my only opinion on that is like you made your choice, you have to lie in it. And then to me, like all this crying, I understand she's trying to prioritize her alliance with Toby and Tyreke. If anyone watched Sydney from her previous Love Island, she's a Kaylor part 2. Just a crybaby, just cries over everything. And I think at this point, it's looking very theatrical. In distress, just dramatic. If you didn't want to be this much in distress, then maybe you probably should have just saved him. I'm not here for it. Justine, on the other hand, she's getting the girls together. She's saying that this is our wake-up call. We need to start playing the game. The boys are the only one playing. They're manipulating. And I'm looking at Lucinda's face. Lucinda she looks a little perplexed. I'm sorry, but Lucinda, what's the problem? She's just trying to remind the girls that, hey, we have power too. But I'm going to get to Lucinda later. So Tyreke and the guys are chatting. Tyreke is saying that he's in a pickle. He's going to have to do some serious damage control. He's telling the boys that since Justine played him the day before, now the playing field, it's even, it's 1-1. Again, his justification, his reasoning, it's so illogical. It doesn't make sense. This is not Love Island. You can do those petty games in Love Island, but in a competitive game competition, like he's not thinking, it's not smart. So the boys are telling him like, yeah, Tyreke, play your own cards, do what's best for your game. But at the end of the day, what I'm really peeping is these guys are not his friends. They are okay with him self-sabotaging. They don't care because they just want him to be part of his own demise. Toby's a prime example. He didn't stop Tyreke. He just let him walk into the lion's den and was totally fine with his friend making a fool out of himself. Did Toby stop him? No. Did Toby discourage him? No. He knew exactly what he was doing. At the end of the day, everybody's trying to save themselves. So I see everything that's going on. So Andriena is still talking to the girls. She's saying that she feels hurt. She came here for love and she did not think that Johnny would do that to her. Andrea told her that Johnny was giving her the girlfriend treatment, being very physical and intimate and whatnot. Then she talks about how she feels so stupid because he's done this many times before. And I thought to myself, the theme of the show is patterns. People ignoring patterns. The signs are there, the red flags are there, and you're just ignoring them. What would make you not think they're going to do it to you? So Garbi and Johnny are having their first conversation after the coupling. Already, Johnny is laying it on thick. Johnny mentions to Garbi that he's had a hard time connecting with Andriena, and he feels that when it comes to gameplay, she's not the greatest. And I thought to myself, you didn't have a problem connecting with her when the lights were out. So Johnny's giving hypocrite. I felt that he had many times to be very direct with Andriena and say, hey, if you don't improve, I'm going to have to find myself in another couple. Every time they lightly talked about it, what ends up happening, he ends up distracting her with a kiss or just being physical. Was he very direct and blunt as he's making it seem like? No. So yeah, that's it for these two. Brickhouse and No Neck, they're going to have major targets put on their back. I would be sleeping with one eye open. Okay, so next, Nicola and Casey. It's pretty much giving, it's a friendship couple. I personally didn't watch any of his Love Island seasons. I didn't watch All Stars. I actually refused to watch All Stars. I'm not for this whole bringing both ex back. I think the whole idea is silly. Him and Garbi were just on All Stars a couple of months ago. Then they broke up and then they're back here. I personally do not know what production was thinking. This was not the big bang powwow that it gave to bring these two back. Like, I don't know. It was weird. So next we have Lucinda. She ends up spilling the tea to Isaiah, saying that Justine was basically rallying the troops, saying that the guys are being manipulated, the guys are controlling the competition, they're running the show. She feels like she's stuck in between because, yes, she wants to support the girls, but also Toby and Tyreke are her friends as well. But I paid attention and I noticed how she didn't mention Kendall's name. I remember when she was doing all that woe is me crying when Mert had left, and then the whole thing with her and Garbi. Who does she go running to? Kendall. So I find it very interesting that she didn't mention his name. So bottom line with Lucinda, she's not to be trusted. The pick me radar is super high. But honestly, Lucinda can go. I was already tired of her episodes 8 through 10, but Lucinda, please count your days. Like, please count your days. I want Lucinda out of here, especially with that stunt and that victimization that she was doing with Garbi when we're here based on a competition and playing the game. No, she can go. She's a snake. She has to go. So next we have Tyreke. He's attempting to apologize to Justine. And let's be real, his whole entire revenge arc, it's been exposed. Pull the curtains. It's over. The gig is up. He just basically blames his situation between him and Justine on a lack of trust. He's doubly down saying, you hurt me, I hurt you back. I feel that all of Tyreke's actions have been motivated by revenge, not putting on his thinking cap. And I'm happy that Justine is getting that wake up call and realizing that I got to start playing my own game. I got to start outsmarting people like him. And she has no one but to trust but herself. And truthfully, Justine's in a tight spot. There's only, one more week until the game is over. She doesn't have anywhere to go unless they're going to send in a miracle bombshell for her later on down the line. She doesn't have much options. She's going to have no choice but to play this game with Tyreke. So I kind of feel bad for her, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. So Garbi and Kendall are chatting. Garbi is happy that Kendall made the right choice in choosing her. He agrees as well. Kendall said that they should focus on themselves and not focus on outside noise. But if I can recall, Kendall was the same person that was seeking validation, talking to Lucinda about, is Garbi the right person for me? He was talking to Isaiah. He was talking to everybody. He was talking to anybody that would listen. So it's really rich for him to say to not focus on outside noise when he brought the noise into his situation with Garbi. I am rooting for Garbi, but it's getting very hard for me to root for Garbi knowing that she's in a couple with Kendall. Then they talk about they should seize the day because they don't know if they're going to be here today, gone tomorrow. But little does Kendall know that karma is coming for him for that little stunt that he pulled between Lucinda and Garbi and doing all of this. He has no idea. He's about to be in a duel later. So we don't get to that. Okay, so next is Sydney and Marvin. Sydney is still crying. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. I didn't mean for this to happen. Give this girl an award. Just top tier performance. Marvin ate it up. Marvin thought she was being genuine. Marvin, he was actually really sweet about it. He wasn't upset. He just told her that he just wants her to focus on her experience. And you know what? I could only respect him for that. And also, I think her revealing this alliance between Toby and Tyreke was so silly on her part. All right, so now it's the next day. Tyreke makes breakfast for Justine. She accepts. Johnny makes breakfast for Gabi and Andriena. Andriena just rejects it. At this very moment, this is when Andriena kicked into high gear. Her telenovela acting kicked in, and all her scenes until the end just ate. When I say baby girls left no crumbs behind. She's asking the girls, like, who has the tiniest teeny weeny bikini? Justine lends her this very cute Very minimal bikini. She's looking in the mirror. She's feeling herself. Andriena comes downstairs with a plate that Johnny prepared for her, and it just waltzes her way around the kitchen. The guys are giving her compliments, like, oh, that's a nice bikini. She's like, thank you. You see her whole entire demeanor change. She's usually very bubbly, but just, okay, girl, she was not playing. This is how you do it. When I say I was so proud of her, I'm so proud of her. So next, Toby and Sydney chat. It's a whole bunch of nothing. Sydney's like, I made sure I saved Tyreke for you. I saved your bestie. And he's like, yeah, thanks. Toby, listen, Toby's going to get tired of her. If they don't start winning competitions, Sydney's killing me, y'all. Well, I saved your bestie. I don't know how much longer I can take of this girl. And to be honest, I don't think Toby cares. I think Toby would be perfectly fine if Tyreke went home. The same way that he didn't care to tell Tyreke, hey, this plan that you have with Justine, I don't think it's a good strategy. I don't think it's good because we have an alliance. He wants to win. So Andriena, her bikini, and Johnny go have a chat. And this conversation goes absolutely nowhere. He's coming up with his own piss poor excuses of why he decided to choose Garbi, despite the fact that him and Andriena were in a safe couple. He's just doing all this, saying that I've already brought it to your attention. We've been together for 10 days. I wasn't giving anybody else any attention but you. And Andriena said to him that she feels blindsided because she feels that Johnny bringing up his grievances and his concern during the recoupling ceremony was not the best time. I can't fault her for feeling blindsided because they did have conversation, and she did ask Johnny, like, hey, what do you want me to do? How do you think I should improve? And again, a lot of those conversations, he was not as direct and blunt as he should be. He was more direct and blunt when he was talking to the guys behind her back. But when it came to being honest and transparent, like, hey, if you don't do this, or if you don't focus on winning and being competitive, I'm going to drop you like a hot potato. So, but he just has very manipulative, cunning, just very cunning behavior. With Johnny saying that she took it too personal, I can understand that it's a competition. But the issue is that he is dodging accountability. He is downplaying what he did to her. And I just can't get behind that. He's just not admitting that he intentionally led her on. And he hasn't been 110% honest and transparent that he is not here for love. He's here for survival, and he's here to play the game. Every time he spoke to Andriena, it was like hand in hand. Oh, I want to see where it goes inside and outside the challenges. So with her, it's like, okay, I may not be the best game player, but at least he's still interested in me because he likes me for me. So Johnny, he's just here for his coins, and that's it. And again, going back to Andriena, if you know somebody is a game player, a player in real life, I just don't understand what makes you think that they won't do it to you. So I don't understand. So Tyreke and Justine, they're having a chat. He's continuing his manipulation, his deception, his acting. Oh, I'm so sorry. I apologize. I want us to move as quickly on as possible. I don't want to do the game with anybody else. Justine is not eating it up. Thanks God she's not eating it up. Justine is not falling for any of it. And I just find it so corny how he was trying to cozy up to her. Very childish. He's giving, those guys that be like, can I have a hug? Where's my hug at? Tyreke, you are playing yourself. Okay, so next we find out America's votes. Garbi and Ariana were the bottom two for the women, and Kendall and Marvin were the bottom two for the men. Who's voting for Andrea? Who is voting for Isaiah? Who's voting for Josh? I can give Andrea and Josh a pass, but Isaiah? Okay. So, everybody's getting pumped. They're getting ready. They got to get in the right state of mind. Johnny decides that he wants to pull Andriena for a chat to give her a pep talk. If I was her, I would have denied him. That is the last face that I want to see right before a competition. I know what Johnny's doing. He's aware that, yeah, this is a competition, but there's a social game. And also, Johnny knows that at the end, when they choose the winners, all the past Islanders come back. He's trying to make sure that he's not burning any bridges, and him and Andriena, whatever happens to them, there's no bad blood, but it's all gameplay. So next we have this duel. The duel involves the contestants being blindfolded. They can't see what's happening. They have bells indicating to the opponent where they could possibly be in the ring. And the whole objective is to grab the tag that's on their side. Whoever puts it up first, they win the competition. So the girls go first and then the guys go second. So this was one of my favorite challenges to date. Garbi and Andriena, they were not playing any games with one another. I was so happy to see Andriena having some skin in the game. So Garbi goes first and she ends up winning the first and second. Andriena, on the other hand, she said, I'm not going down without a fight. She ends up winning the next 2 rounds. And in the last round, Andriena ends up pulling her flag literally a half a second right after Garbi. So Garbi ends up winning the competition. Andriena didn't end up winning, but I was so proud of her. I think what took me out is, I believe during her first time that she won, I believe it was the 3rd or 4th round, Andriena was like, hallelujah. I'm sorry, but that... So next the boys go, and Kendall, he's all pumped. Marvin's pumped. I really thought Marvin had it. I really thought he did. Kendall defeated him. Kendall defeated Marvin. He earned his win. I give him A for effort. I think him scoping out what Garbi was doing and Garbi's technique, I think that definitely gave him an edge, gave him a little push. But Marvin tried. Marvin really tried. But damn, these basketball players, they're not lasting. Marvin, we had Chris, and now it's Marvin. It's not looking too good. Don't send any more basketball players in. That's it. So Marvin and Andriena, they're dumped from the island. So Ariana is asking Marvin and Andriena all these questions. And this episode was an hour and 22 minutes long. We didn't have to have this Q&A session, but I thought it was so funny to me when Marvin was saying that he felt betrayed by Johnny because Johnny was in a safe couple. The fact that he stood up to the plate to open up the box, which was Garbi, it put him and Tyreke in a vulnerable situation. Yes, I understand. But I feel that if anything, he should probably just be more upset at Sydney. Like, Johnny's playing the game at the end of the day. As shisty he comes across, like, you can't blame him for that. So the episode ends with Johnny making one last final attempt to talk to Adriana. And all I got from that conversation is that he's leaving the door open. He's very apologetic about what happens. He feels bad that she's going home because of him. He knows that Andriena and the other players are coming back for the last episode. Again, he's not trying to burn any bridges. He's trying to be empathetic, and then he understands. But then his veil drops, saying that I'm not dead, you're not dead. What? Letting her know if she wants to spin the block, he's here. Just, ugh. Andriena, please, when you go home, do not ever contact that man. Block him on socials, block his phone number. Block him from your life. Johnny is ruthless. He's a bit crass. But don't be surprised if Johnny ends up winning this entire game. All right, so that was it for episode 12 of Love Island Games. This was a really good episode. Andriena went out like a bang. She had such a good story arc from beginning to end. I hope she watches this episode back. Just this episode. Just be really proud of herself. She did put in a good fight against Garbi. Again, she is young. She has a lot of maturing. She has a lot of growing up to do. Very, very naive. I know she's a lover girl. She loves love, but You got to guard your heart. But I hope this situation with Johnny gives her a wake-up call to stop giving someone chance after chance after chance. Like, no, you have to guard your heart and guard your mind and your sanity as well. So I'm so happy Garbi is still in the game. My clients are still Justine and Garbi. I'm rooting for them. But Lucinda, Sydney, gotta go. Nicola and Lucinda, they gotta go home. Lucinda was irking my nerve this entire show, this entire episode. We had to hear her soundbite during the entire competition. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Over it. I am so over it. Last thoughts. Why do we have to have so many Brits? We can't recruit from any other countries? All right, so that's it for episode 12 of Love Island Games. I will be uploading more videos. So you see them come on your timeline, just go ahead and like and subscribe. I thank you so much for supporting my channel, and I will see you